We're going to explore the fascinating story behind the 1976 D Lincoln penny, a coin that might just be sitting in your collection, or even in your spare change jar, waiting to make you a fortune. First, let's set the stage. 1976 was a special year in U.S. history. Not only was the nation celebrating its 200th birthday, the bicentennial, but this was also the year that the U.S. Mint struck millions of pennies. Most of them were issued with a standard design, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. The D Mint mark means it was produced in Denver. While this coin seems common, there's a unique aspect that has made some of these pennies extremely rare and valuable to collectors. A normal 1976 D penny in circulated condition is worth only about 1 cent. But there are specific varieties that collectors are desperate to find. The most valuable 1976 D pennies are those that have striking errors, like the famous double die obverse variety. These coins have a unique feature where the date or some of the details on the Lincoln side appear doubled, which was caused by a misalignment during the minting process. Now let's talk money. So, how much can a 1976 D Lincoln penny with errors actually be worth? In mint condition or with errors, these pennies have sold for thousands of dollars at auctions. For example, a 1976 D penny with a double die obverse in excellent condition can easily fetch between $2,000 and $5,000, sometimes even more depending on the rarity and the market. Some rare finds have even sold for over $10,000. That's a lot more than just pocket change, right? So, how can you tell if your 1976 D penny is worth thousands? Well, here are some tips. 1. Look for doubling on the obverse, especially around the date 1976 or Lincoln's bust. If the lettering seems blurry or doubled, you found an error coin. Check for other minting defects. Some rarer coins might have off-center strikes or unusual features. Make sure to have your penny graded by a professional. This can significantly affect its value. High-grade coins are much more valuable than those in poor condition. If you think you've got a valuable 1976 D penny, it's time to take it to the next level. You can sell your penny through online auction sites like eBay or visit local coin dealers and numismatic events. Just make sure to get it appraised to ensure you're getting the right value for your rare find. To wrap up, the 1976 D Lincoln penny might seem like an ordinary coin, but with the right error, it could be worth thousands of dollars. Keep an eye out for those rare varieties. They could be waiting for you in your change or collection. We're diving deep into a fascinating penny that could be hiding in your collection. The 1951 No Mint Mark Lincoln 1 cent. This coin, though often overlooked, has a rich history and a surprising value that could make it worth thousands of dollars. Stay tuned to find out why this penny is a hidden treasure. Let's take a step back in time. The 1951 No Mint Mark Lincoln penny was minted during the post-World War II era, a time when the United States was undergoing significant changes. The coin features Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, and it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. But wait, why is this important? Well, the lack of a mint mark means that the coin came from Philadelphia, which makes it different from others made in Denver or San Francisco. On the front of the penny, you'll see the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a staple of the Lincoln series since 1909. The reverse side shows a simple, yet elegant, design of 2 wheat stalks framing the words E pluribus unum and 1 cent. While the design has been a constant over the years, this penny from 1951 stands out because of its unique production and rare varieties. Now, not all 1951 pennies are worth thousands. In fact, most 1951 No Mint Mark Lincoln pennies are valued at face value, or just a few cents above. But here's where it gets interesting. There are certain error varieties of this coin that can fetch serious money. For example, a 1951 penny with a double die error on the obverse, where the date or Lincoln's portrait shows clear doubling, could be worth hundreds to thousands of dollars, depending on its grade and the quality of the error. So, what's this coin worth today? The value of a 1951 No Mint Mark penny really depends on its condition and any potential error it may have. A regular coin in average circulated condition might only fetch a few cents to a couple of dollars. But if your 1951 penny is in uncirculated condition or has an error, like the famous double die, You're looking at values ranging from $100 to $10,000 or more. Some have even sold for $50,000 in the right conditions, with the error visible in key parts of the coin. Want to know how to spot a rare 1951 penny? Start by looking for any doubling on the date, the words, or Lincoln's portrait. Errors like these can make a coin significantly more valuable. Also, get your coins professionally graded if you think they might be worth more. A coin graded by services like PCGS or NGC will give you the confidence to know exactly what you have. To sum it up, the 1951 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is a coin with an interesting backstory, and it has the potential to be worth thousands if you're lucky enough to find one with a rare error or in exceptional condition. So, next time you're flipping through your spare change or going through your coin collection, be sure to keep an eye out for this little treasure. We're diving deep into one of the most intriguing pennies from the 20th century, the 1962 D Lincoln cent. You won't believe the value these pennies can have today. Some are worth thousands of dollars. So if you're a collector or just curious about rare coins, stick around. The 1962 D Lincoln cent was minted in Denver, Colorado. It's part of the iconic Lincoln series, first introduced in 1909. The D mint mark means it was produced at the Denver Mint, which is one of the largest coin-producing facilities in the U.S. In 1962, the United States was in the midst of a post-war economic boom. The penny was still made of 95% copper, giving it a rich, reddish-brown color that collectors love. But did you know that this penny, like many others, has a secret? Some 1962 D pennies are worth way more than their 1-cent face value. Now, let's talk about why these pennies are so valuable. Most of the 1962 D pennies are worth just a few cents. But if you have a high-grade example, or one with unique characteristics, it could be worth a lot more. First, let's look at the condition. A typical 1962 D penny in average condition, maybe one that's been circulating for decades, is worth around 2 to 5 cents. But when you start getting into mint state or uncirculated examples, the value can jump to $5 or $10. But here's where things get really interesting. There's a rare variety of the 1962 D penny called the 1962 D double die obverse. This is the real jackpot. The 1962 D double die obverse is a rare error coin where the die was misaligned, causing the letters and numbers on the front of the penny to appear doubled. If you have one of these, it could be worth thousands of dollars. Collectors go wild for these error coins because they're so rare. A 1962 D double die obverse penny in high grade can fetch anywhere from $500 to over $1,000 at auction, depending on its condition and the level of doubling. The more obvious the doubling, the higher the value. Okay, so how do you identify one of these rare pennies? Well, it all comes down to the doubling on the obverse. You want to check for doubled letters, especially on the word Liberty and the date. Look carefully at the top of the L, the I, and the Y in Liberty. You may also see doubling on the date, where the numbers look like they've been struck more than once. If you spot this, you could have a real treasure on your hands. So, what's the current value of these rare 1962 D pennies? If you have one in mint state or with a noticeable doubling error, you could sell it for anywhere from $500 to $1,000, depending on the exact condition and market demand. Some have even sold for more at auctions. You can sell these coins on online marketplaces like eBay, or even through a reputable auction house specializing in rare coins. Be sure to get your penny professionally graded by a service like PCGS or NGC to maximize its value. So, there you have it, the 1962 D Lincoln cent. A seemingly ordinary penny could be worth thousands of dollars if you have the right one. If you think you might have one of these rare varieties, make sure to inspect it closely and get it appraised. It could be your ticket to a small fortune. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss a coin discovery. Have any of you found a rare coin in your collection? Let us know in the comments below. We're diving into the fascinating history of the 1971 no-mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. You might be surprised to learn that this humble penny, with a simple design and a lack of a mint mark, can actually be worth thousands of dollars. Let's explore why. To start, let's take a quick look at the history of this particular coin. The 1971 Lincoln 1-cent penny was part of a series of pennies that were minted in the early 1970s. For most coins, the mint mark indicates where they were struck, either Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. However, in 1971, there were no mint marks used on pennies struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which means that these pennies are often referred to as no mint mark coins. The screen shows a historical image of the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia. Normally, the Philadelphia Mint has a P mint mark on its coins, but that year, due to an oversight or decision by the Mint, these pennies came out without one. It's a unique characteristic that sets the 1971 Lincoln penny apart from other pennies minted that year. Camera zooms in on the front of the penny to show Abraham Lincoln's portrait. The 1971 penny is classic in design. On the obverse, we have the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse shows the famous Lincoln Memorial, which has been featured on the back of the penny since 1959. Cut to a shot of various pennies, including a close-up of the 1971 no mint mark coin. Now, here's the million-dollar question. Why is the 1971 no mint mark penny so valuable? Well, despite its simple design, this penny is sought after by collectors, especially in certain conditions. The scarcity of these no mint mark coins is one of the biggest reasons for their high value. Camera transitions to show a collection of rare coins, including graded examples of the 1971 penny. Uncirculated examples or coins in excellent condition can fetch upwards of $1,000. But wait, it gets better. If you happen to find a 1971 no mint mark penny that is in mint state, particularly one graded at MS 67 or higher, it could be worth thousands of dollars, and some have even sold for as much as $3,000 or more. The rarity of this penny isn't just because it lacks a mint mark, but also because many were circulated and didn't survive in pristine condition. The ones that did survive unscathed are highly prized in the world of coin collecting. Grading plays a huge role in determining the value of a coin. Coins that are graded at MS 65 or higher are especially valuable, with pristine examples often fetching higher auction prices. Coin collectors and investors will pay a premium for these perfect specimens. Camera focuses on a magnified image of the coin's edge, highlighting the lack of a mint mark. So, how can you identify this rare penny? Simple. Look for the absence of a mint mark under the date on the obverse. The Philadelphia Mint struck all the pennies that year without a mint mark. So if you have a 1971 penny without a mark, you're already looking at a potential rarity. To compare, the mint mark for coins struck in Denver would have a D underneath the date. If you find a penny that matches this description and is in mint condition, you may have something worth a lot more than just 1 cent. If you're lucky enough to have one of these rare pennies, you might be wondering how to sell it. There are several options, including auction houses, online marketplaces like eBay, or specialized coin dealers who can help you find the right buyer. Always be sure to get your coin professionally graded before selling, as this will help you get the best price. So, there you have it. The 1971 no mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny might look like just another common coin, but its history and rarity make it an exciting find for collectors. If you have one of these in your collection, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Make sure to check your spare change. You never know what hidden treasures are out there. Cut to outro screen with social media handles and subscribe button. We're diving into one of the most intriguing and potentially valuable pennies out there. The 1968 no mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. Released in 1968, the Lincoln 1-cent penny is a key part of American coinage history. But today, we're going to talk about a specific version that has captured the attention of collectors and investors alike. The 1968 penny with no mint mark. First, let's break down what makes this penny so special. The 1968 penny typically came in two varieties, one with a mint mark and one without. In 1968, the U.S. Mint produced pennies at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Normally, you'd expect a mint mark on the coin to indicate where it was struck. But here's the catch. Some 1968 pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint and were not stamped with a mint mark. which is why they stand out. Now, let's talk about the significance of the no-mint mark variety. Most people don't even realize it's different from a regular penny, and that's part of what makes it so valuable today. The 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny was produced in larger quantities, but over time, many have been lost or worn down, leaving only a limited number in pristine condition. In 1968, the Philadelphia Mint struck over 1 billion pennies. However, as time goes on, finding one in exceptional condition becomes rarer. The key is the coin's grade, or how well it has been preserved. If a 1968 no-mint mark penny is in uncirculated or mint condition, it could be worth a lot more than face value. Now, let's get to the exciting part, the value. A well-circulated 1968 no-mint mark penny might only be worth a couple of cents over its face value. But if you find one that's in mint state, uncirculated, or even graded as high as MS-65 or MS-66, it could be worth thousands of dollars. For example, a 1968 no-mint mark penny in mint condition could sell for around $10 to $50, but when we talk about top-tier grades like MS-65 or higher, the price skyrockets. Rare examples have even been auctioned for as much as $1,000 or more. So what's driving this incredible value? It's all about scarcity, condition, and the interest of collectors. Because most of the 1968 pennies circulated quickly and became worn down, finding one in perfect condition is like finding a needle in a haystack. But hold on, before you start running through your penny jar, remember that not every 1968 no-mint mark penny is worth thousands. Condition is king here, and the coin has to be well preserved. The higher the grade, the higher the value. To give yourself the best chance at finding a valuable 1968 no-mint mark penny, you need to examine your pennies closely. Look for sharp details, good color, and minimal wear. If you think you've found something worth checking out, take it to a professional coin grader for an official assessment. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, remember that even the most common coins can surprise you with their hidden value. Keep your eyes peeled and always be on the lookout for these rare gems. So, do you have a 1968 no-mint mark penny in your collection? Or maybe you've found one in your change? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into coin history and value, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more great content. We're diving into one of the most fascinating and valuable pennies in U.S. history, the 1964 D. Lincoln 1 cent. If you've got one of these in your collection, you could be holding a hidden treasure worth thousands of dollars. Stick around to learn about its history, what makes it so special, and how much it's worth today. The 1964 D. Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, as denoted by the D mint mark on the reverse side. This penny has a rich history tied to the end of a significant era in U.S. coinage. The 1964 penny was part of the final year of the 90% silver coins, before the U.S. switched to a copper-nickel alloy in 1965 due to a national coin shortage. In 1964, the U.S. Mint struck more than 4 billion pennies to meet the demand for circulating coins, making it one of the most produced pennies in history. However, what sets the 1964 D penny apart from the rest is its rarity in certain conditions. Now, you might be wondering, why are we talking about this penny if so many were made? Well, that's because while the 1964 D penny was mass-produced, certain examples have a unique feature that make them worth thousands today. There are reports of 1964 D pennies with striking errors, most notably double dies and die cracks. These rare minting defects make these pennies extremely valuable to collectors. The most famous of these errors is known as the 1964 D double die obverse. This error causes the word Liberty and the date to appear doubled. Finding one of these double die pennies can be a game changer. A 1964 D with a strong double die could be worth anywhere from $500 to over $1,000 in lower grades. But the real money is in higher quality examples. At auction, a high-grade example of the 1964 D double die penny has been known to sell for up to $10,000. So if you happen to come across one in your collection, it's time to get it evaluated by a professional. So how can you spot a 1964 D double die penny? First, look closely at the word Liberty and the date 1964. The doubling is often most noticeable in these areas. Check for any extra details around the letters and numbers, which should look somewhat ghosted or shifted. You can also inspect the "In God We Trust" area for any doubling. It's important to remember that the doubling should be noticeable to the naked eye, but a magnifying glass or loupe will help you spot it more clearly. In addition to the double die error, other rarities like die cracks, off-center strikes, and even proof-like finishes have been found on the 1964 D penny. While these may not be as valuable as the double die examples, they can still fetch impressive prices, ranging anywhere from $50 to a few $100s depending on the severity of the error. Once you've found your rare 1964 D penny, how do you get it appraised or sold? There are a few options. You can send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC, who will certify its authenticity and grade. Then, you can either auction it off through reputable platforms like eBay or seek out a coin dealer specializing in rare US coins. Grading and certification can add significant value, so make sure you take care of this important step. So there you have it. The 1964 D Lincoln penny may seem like just another common coin, but in certain rare conditions, it can be worth a small fortune. If you're a collector, this is a coin you definitely want to keep your eyes peeled for. Who knows? You might just have a rare gem hiding in your change jar or your collection. Remember, folks, always check your coins closely and get them evaluated by a professional if you think you found something rare. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more coin tips and hidden treasures. We're diving into one of the rarest and most sought-after Lincoln pennies, the 1965 no-mint mark penny. Yes, you heard that right. A penny that could be worth thousands of dollars today. So, let's get into the history and value of this incredible coin. The 1965 Lincoln 1-cent coin is part of a major turning point in U.S. coin history, and it holds a unique place in numismatics for a very specific reason: its lack of a mint mark. Now, let's talk about the history. In 1965, the U.S. Mint made a big decision. They stopped including mint marks on most coins, including the Lincoln penny, to save on production costs. This was during a time when the U.S. Mint was dealing with a shortage of coinage due to rising copper prices, and they were trying to get more coins into circulation quickly. Usually, pennies produced at the Philadelphia Mint would have a P mint mark, but in 1965, the Mint didn't stamp these coins at all. For most coins that year, they were just marked with the year and the design, but no mint mark was present on many of them. Most of the 1965 Lincoln pennies were struck in Philadelphia, and these coins without any mint mark are extremely rare. While many collectors were focused on other coins of the time, these missing mint marks have made the 1965 Lincoln penny a special item for coin collectors around the world. Finding a 1965 penny without a mint mark is something of a rarity. And while a typical 1965 penny might be worth just its face value, the ones without the mint mark in uncirculated or high-grade condition are highly valuable. So why is the 1965 no mint mark penny worth so much? Well, the main factors that increase its value are its rarity and condition. If the penny is in near mint or uncirculated condition, it could fetch a pretty penny, pun intended. Depending on its grade, a 1965 no mint mark penny can be worth anywhere from $1,000 to as much as $20,000. That's right, a single penny could be worth thousands of dollars, especially if it's graded in MS 65 or higher condition. The key is that higher quality, well-preserved coins are much more valuable. These high-quality 1965 no-mint mark pennies are especially prized by collectors who are looking for rare, high-grade examples to add to their collections. Now, if you think you have a 1965 no-mint mark penny, how can you tell if it's the real deal? First, look at the reverse of the coin. You'll see the Lincoln Memorial design, but no mint mark under the date. Then, check the condition. Coins in better shape will show more detail, with clear features like Lincoln's beard and the memorial building's sharp edges. Once you've identified your coin, make sure to store it safely. You'll want to protect your investment by placing it in a protective coin holder and keeping it away from elements that could cause corrosion or damage. So, there you have it, the 1965 no mint mark Lincoln penny. a rare piece of U.S. history that could be worth thousands of dollars, depending on its condition. If you have one in your collection, or if you come across one, you could be holding a valuable treasure. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever found a 1965 no-mint mark penny or if you've seen one for sale. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more coin-related content like this. We're diving into one of the most surprising and valuable pennies that could be hiding in your pocket change right now. The 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent coin. You might be thinking, a penny worth thousands? That's impossible. But trust me, it's true. Let's explore the history, rarity, and the shocking value of this particular penny. The 1978 Lincoln penny is a coin that represents a key era in U.S. coinage. This penny features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner. Since its introduction in 1909, this design has been a staple of U.S. currency. On the reverse side, we see the familiar 1-cent inscription with the Lincoln Memorial. But what makes the 1978 penny so special? It's the absence of a mint mark. For most pennies produced in 1978, you'll notice either a D or a S mint mark, indicating the Denver or San Francisco mint, respectively. But the 1978 no-mint mark pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and here's where the mystery begins. A close-up of a 1978 no-mint mark penny next to a regular 1978 penny with a mint mark. Now, you might be wondering, what sets the 1978 no-mint mark penny apart from its mint-marked counterparts? It's all about rarity. Although there are millions of pennies produced each year, the 1978 no-mint mark pennies are far less common, making them highly sought after by collectors. In fact, most 1978 pennies were struck with a mint mark, so these mint markless coins are considered a rare find. A dollar bill, a regular penny, and then a 1978 no-mint mark penny are placed next to each other with a value tag showing higher numbers. When it comes to value, these pennies have been known to fetch thousands of dollars, especially if they are in mint condition or have a unique error, like being double-struck or having unusual flaws. A typical 1978 no-mint mark penny in good condition could be worth anywhere from $50 to $100. But here's the kicker: one of these pennies, graded at a high level of condition, can reach upwards of $5,000. That's right, a coin worth just 1 cent could turn into a collector's prize, depending on its rarity and condition. If you come across a 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln penny with a unique feature or in pristine condition, it could be worth a small fortune. Now, how can you tell if your 1978 penny is the hidden gem worth thousands? First, look for the absence of a mint mark. It should have no D or S under the date. Next, check its condition. The more flawless the coin, the higher its potential value. Coins that are well preserved with sharp details and minimal wear are the ones that collectors pay top dollar for. You'll also want to inspect it for any errors or unusual characteristics. Look for double strikes, misaligned dies, or any other quirks that could make it even more valuable. Thinking of selling your valuable penny? The best place to sell a high-value coin is through auction sites like eBay or at coin shows, where collectors are actively looking for rare pieces. You could also get it appraised by a certified numismatist to confirm its value. But remember, the true value of a coin is only as much as someone is willing to pay for it. So always be prepared to do a bit of research and get multiple opinions on its worth. So there you have it, the 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. A seemingly ordinary penny that could be worth thousands of dollars, depending on its condition and any unique traits. If you ever come across one of these rare beauties, make sure to keep it safe, get it evaluated, and who knows? It could be your ticket to a serious payday. We're diving into the history and value of a specific penny that could be worth thousands of dollars. Yes, I'm talking about the 2007 D-Mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. Stick around to find out why this coin might just be the gold mine you've been looking for. First, let's take a step back and look at the history of the 2007 D Lincoln penny. As many of you know, the Lincoln penny was first minted in 1909 to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's centennial birthday, with Victor David Brenner's iconic portrait of Lincoln on the obverse. But let's talk about 2007 specifically. In 2007, the U.S. Mint continued to produce the traditional Lincoln penny, but with a slight twist. This was the last year before a big redesign, which would be launched in 2009 for the bicentennial of Lincoln's birth. The 2007 penny had a D-Mint mark, meaning it was produced at the Denver Mint. Over 4 billion of these pennies were struck that year, making it one of the more common coins in circulation. So, what makes this seemingly ordinary penny potentially worth thousands of dollars? You might be wondering, with billions of these pennies minted, how could they be worth anything extraordinary? Well, there are a few key factors to keep in mind. While most 2007 D pennies are worth just 1 cent, some are incredibly rare due to minting errors and unique features. Let's go over a few of these rarities. One of the most valuable varieties of the 2007 D penny is the double die error. This occurs when the die used to strike the penny was misaligned during the minting process, causing some of the designs, like the date or Lincoln's portrait, to appear doubled. These errors can significantly increase the coin's value. Coins with double die errors can be worth anywhere from $100 to $1,000, depending on the severity of the error and the coin's condition. But it's not just the double die errors that make the 2007 D penny valuable. You also want to pay attention to the overall condition of the coin. Uncirculated pennies in mint condition, especially those with original packaging or that have been professionally graded, can fetch impressive amounts at auction. A 2007 D penny in gem uncirculated condition, rated by a professional grading company, could be worth anywhere from $100 to $500. But if you find a coin that's been missed by the minting process and is in top condition, you could be looking at thousands of dollars. So, how do you spot a valuable 2007 D penny? First, always check for minting errors, especially double dies. Second, examine the coin for any signs of wear. The more pristine and undamaged the coin is, the higher its potential value. Also, if you're serious about coin collecting, get your valuable coins graded. A professional grade can elevate the value of your coins exponentially, especially when selling them on platforms like eBay or at coin shows. Now, let's talk numbers. As of today, certain 2007 D Mint Mark Lincoln pennies with rare errors or in uncirculated condition are being sold for anywhere between $100 and $3,000. Some have even sold for more, depending on how rare the error is and the demand in the collector market. The rarer the minting flaw, the higher the price. And as time goes on, more collectors are becoming interested in these overlooked coins. So, there you have it. The 2007 D Lincoln penny might just look like another coin in your pocket, but with the right eye for detail, you could be holding a potential treasure worth thousands of dollars. Check your change, inspect your pennies, and you might just find a rare gem. We're diving into a penny that might be hiding in your pocket or collection, the 1988 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. You may have one of these coins sitting around, and little did you know it could be worth thousands of dollars. But what makes this penny so special? Let's find out. Cut to a close-up shot of a 1988 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. First, let's go over the history of the 1988 penny. The Lincoln cent, introduced in 1909, is one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history. The 1988 penny was produced during the final years of the Memorial Reverse design, which had been in circulation since 1959. On-screen graphics of the 1959 Memorial Reverse penny design. This design, featuring the Lincoln Memorial, was crafted by Frank Gasparo, and it's seen on most pennies minted from 1959 to 2008. However, what makes the 1988 penny noteworthy is the absence of a mint mark on certain coins. Mint marks indicate where a coin was struck, such as D for Denver or S for San Francisco. So, what's going on with these no-mint mark pennies? In 1988, the U.S. Mint produced pennies at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Normally, if a penny was struck in Philadelphia, it would have no mint mark. However, there was an interesting phenomenon that made this penny unique. Cut to footage of coin collectors sorting through coins. Many 1988 pennies were minted in Philadelphia, which is expected. But a small number of these pennies didn't bear the usual P mint mark that was commonly used for coins produced in Philadelphia from 1980 onwards. Show close-up of a 1988 penny with no mint mark. These no mint mark 1988 pennies were simply an error of omission. No mint mark was placed on them. And for coin collectors, that made these coins quite rare and incredibly valuable. Now, let's talk about the value of these pennies. You might be wondering, how much can a simple penny from 1988 really be worth? Well, in the world of rare coins, it all comes down to rarity, demand, and condition. Cut to footage of a high-grade 1988 no-mint mark penny being held in a protective case. A typical 1988 penny in circulated condition is worth just 1 cent. But if your 1988 penny is in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially if it's graded by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC, you could be looking at a coin worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars. Display examples of high-grade 1988 no-mint mark pennies and their auction prices. For example, uncirculated 1988 no-mint mark pennies have sold for upwards of $1,000 at auctions. And in rare cases, particularly well-preserved specimens have been known to fetch prices as high as $10,000. Now that you know the potential value, how do you identify these hidden gems? It's simple. Look for a 1988 penny with no mint mark. If it's from the Philadelphia Mint, there should be no P next to the date. Cut to a close-up of a 1988 penny showing where the mint mark would be placed. Make sure to inspect the condition of the penny closely. Coins in excellent condition with minimal wear and clear details are the ones that are most valuable. If you're lucky enough to find one in mint state, that's where the real value lies. Also, consider getting your coin professionally graded. Coins that are graded higher, such as MS-65 or MS-66, can command top dollar in the collector's market. So, you found a 1988 no-mint mark penny that you think might be worth something. What do you do next? On-screen text, where to sell. You can sell your coin to dealers, at auction, or through online platforms like eBay. But remember, condition is key. Get it graded by a reputable service to get the most accurate value. Show footage of a coin being listed on an online auction platform. If you're looking to sell it to a collector, make sure you provide clear photos and an honest description of the coin's condition. With the right marketing and the right buyer, you could walk away with a substantial sum. Narrator. So there you have it, the 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a rare find with the potential to be worth thousands of dollars. If you have one of these in your collection, it's definitely worth checking its condition and seeing if it's time to cash in.